Good morning, ducks! Two little birds in for a snack. It's cold, guys. Look at the heat leaving the lake. It's only 0 here right now. It wasn't supposed to get this cold last night. I don't think they were even calling for snow. Winter's returned. So good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Duck Adventure for May the 8th. Let's go check the incubator. Oh man, that's cold out there. And consider yesterday, it was 22 above. Oh, power went out last night. I wonder how that affected the incubator. Sitting exactly where it's supposed to be, guys. Well, 37.6, it's supposed to be 37.5. And it's supposed to be 55% humidity, and it's 54. So the machine right now is 53, and it's 52 on this one. 37.4, 37.5. So everything's running perfect. And for my new viewers, that's an actual scientific humidistat and thermometer that's actually you calibrated by putting it into solution. Believe it or not, that little thing there was like $100. But it makes sure that the incubator's right. And with this Chinese stuff, it's always a good idea to either have backup or some way of verifying to say what they say is what it's supposed to be. It looks so strange having white back again. But that looks cold. Man, it's nasty out. It's +2 now. What a swing in the temperature. It downright sucks, guys. Well, my plan today is to 1, get my edit done, and 2, load the incubator, and 3, get into the garage and get the Argo happening. You've got some serious patience here this morning, Dougie. I think he knows it's not nice out. And you know, yesterday, the crazy part is, I put all my winter clothes away, washed everything, my jacket, you know, I like washing everything before I put it away, because you know, the amount of duck poop I wrestle with here in the wintertime. So I washed like all my winter clothing and put it all away, and this morning I don't really want to get it out because that's sort of saying, you know, winter's officially back. So I gotta apologize, guys, for yesterday. Oh, that squirrel. Yesterday's episode, the sound totally sucks. I just discovered while I was doing the edit, and I was absolutely freaked right out because I thought, you know, the camera I bought, you know, was defective. Then I thought the mic I bought was defective because yesterday was the first episode that I've done with the new equipment, you know, the replacement equipment I got, or backup or secondary, whatever we want to call it now. Well, now it's the primary. So the sound, like wind noise, and I'm like, okay, what's going on, man? Because, you know, like the sound's usually really good. You're not going to believe it. Yesterday I went into the garage and I took all the camera stuff into the garage because I had to do a swap over and take certain parts off so I could, you know, set it up. You know, because like the way I have my cameras configured, so I literally had to take everything apart. Now I don't screw around with my cameras that often. Usually, you know, I set them up and I just leave them. I plugged the mic into the headphone jack. So we were yesterday using the crappy mic that's on the camera, and that's why I don't like the mics that come on cameras, because one, there was wind noise, and also it was recording in 5.1 sound, which I hate that because it's not true 5.1 sound, because it's only 2 mic heads trying to give you 5 channels, which is it's you know, it's digitally recreating surround sound. It's fake, totally fake. I record the show in stereo because I use a stereo mic because it's got 2 inputs, and you know, so you get true sound. I really hate the digitized fake sound. All right, I'm coming. Oh, you're right at the gate. Okay, Disco is walking better. Her limp is not as bad today. That male got a little upset at her. I just want to answer a question, or I shouldn't say it's a question. I've noticed in the comments people saying that, you know, maybe it was a Muscovy drake that hurt Disco. I think because Disco's a mule duck, because she's a cross. Her dad was a Rouen and her mother was a Muscovy. Oh man, I'm brain dead here today. I have never seen a male duck near her. Like, she doesn't, I don't think she even has the hormones to attract a male. Okay, now her limp's bad again. I gotta catch that duck. This is freaking nasty out here, guys. There's snowflakes coming down. Okay, let's do egg recon because today is load the incubator day. I was planning on going into the garage and doing some Argo work, but I'm thinking I might take advantage of this cold day. I've got a domestic job that I want to do. I might share it with you guys. I'm not sure yet. All right, let's get the pail and do egg recon. Doug has appeared. Dougie. He slept like a baby last night because he ran, well, yesterday was his first official day running non-stop. And him and I both were tired last night because I didn't realize by the time I got my dishes done and got to bed, it was 11:30. And then I woke up this morning, you know, like it was like 5:45, wide awake. I was like, I'm not getting enough sleep here. So I don't know if I'm going to do the Argo. I'm thinking I might, like I said, I've got a domestic job. I might share it with you guys. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. Let's get egg recon happening. It is unbelievably nasty out. And I didn't realize how much it rained last night. My buckets on the back deck from all the eggs I washed out, there's over a ½ inch of water in the buckets. Hospital duck gave us another egg. I never took her egg from her yesterday. I don't know what's going on with this duck, guys. I can't figure out what's going on. I've been soaking her. I don't see any damage. I have no idea why her foot is swollen. It doesn't make any sense why her foot is swollen. Like, there's no marks. I've been spraying antibiotic spray. I know, duck. Oh, I see your wings from banging on the cage. Well, this. Here. Okay, now she's not limping. Absolutely no limp on that duck. Oh, look at this. The weather last night, guys, was so dirty last night, like nasty. I looked out the pen at 11:30 and there was no ducks. They were in the buildings. And the looks of the clutch of eggs that duck is sitting on, I think they all dropped their eggs in here. Oh, we got a goose egg. Come on, girls. Let's go. Come on. 2 upset females. Okay. Loading the incubator today, guys. It's happening. The biggest, absolutely biggest load of eggs. I figured I'm just going to do them all. And then when I candle in 7 to 8 days, I'll get rid of the ones that didn't make it or didn't start developing. We'll see actually how old the drop-off rate is on different age of eggs, because I wrote the date on every egg. Oh, duck. Come on. I think I'm going to have to take her to the lake for a swim. Oh, she's mad. She didn't like Doug being that close to her. Back to egg recon. Oh, we're all over the place here today. Okay, Doug just lost it out there. Oh, he's down in the swamp now barking. It's not nice out today. Even though I just went into the garage, and it's actually warm in there because I left the doors open yesterday. So the garage is actually nice and toasty. It wouldn't be a bad day to work in the garage. Okay, there's a lot of noise out here. What's going on? Oh, upset ducks. The two from the nest. Oh, Doug, you're dirty. Oh, there's an egg right in the ground. Yeah, I can't believe how much it rained. Everything's pretty mucky right now. But not really mucky, because it could be a lot muddier. But it was so dry, I guess the water just disappeared when it hit the ground. Because for a half an inch of water in the buckets this morning, it's not as muddy in here as it should be. I know one thing, my hands are cold already. I'm wussing here, guys. I might take the Argo for a quick 15-minute drive since it's so cold right now, and just do 15 minutes of packing. I might do that. And then load the incubator. But the Argo's going to get fixed this week. That's the plan. I got the kit here. It's time to fix it. And then I can get down in the swamp and do a serious swamp packing down. Oh, poor dog. He sees the ducks and he gets close to them and he starts crying because they're letting him get close. And it's like they're freaking out because he's getting close. And he's getting excited because they're letting him. This is a good bucket of eggs. I noticed too when I was writing all the dates down, which I'll put below this video of the dates of the eggs, the ducks had a bit of a drop off on the egg production. Because 12 days ago, they were pumping out 50 eggs a day. Okay, they didn't eat very much last night. Yeah, I noticed a drop off when I was doing the counts. I think I'm going to get the Argo out and I'm going to do about 15 minutes until it overheats again. Okay, it looks like Stripper went out of the pen, guys. Yeah, she did. She's over there with Hospital Duck right now. Look at Hospital Duck. She's walking around with no limp at all. That's really strange that Stripper's out of the pen. Usually, you know, she stays in the pen and hides. But I did kick her out the last couple of days, and I've noticed since I started kicking her out, she's out walking around the yard. Stumbling, I should say, walking around. That's not walking. Poor little duck. Just look at her struggle. I had to put her in the pen last night when I was doing the duck roundup at the end of the night. I actually went looking for her, found her, and then put her in the pen because I didn't want to have a repeat of me looking out the window at 11:30 at night in my house coat, realizing I got to run outside and rescue Stripper from running around the outside of the pen. Well, I just did the most brutal edit I've ever done. Actually, I didn't even really want to do the edit because the sound sucks so bad. I can't believe, you know, when you get used to, you know, high quality sound, like, you know, I use the Rode mics, and then you accidentally use the mic that's in the camera. Whoa, man. You know, I will say one thing, the Sony cameras, I really love the video. I love the way, you know, it's nice stable video, you know, and I can move it around like I'm doing right now, you know, and the video, the picture stays, you know, smooth. But the sound sucks, and when you plug your external high-end microphone into the headphone jack, the sound sucks. The whole edit, guys, I'm not kidding you, because like I have a nice set of speakers on my editing station, and so I can actually hear, you know, all the sounds, so I know what you guys are getting. And it was absolutely the most brutal experience sitting there listening to the crappy sound, because it recorded in that imitation 5.1 sound that they have, which is, it's just absolutely, it's so fake. It's nothing what it truly sounds like here. And it made me mad. All the scenes that I shot with the big camera, you know, the new big camera, or I should say the used one I bought, with the new mic. Anyways, today will be better because I do have it plugged in. Actually, let me just check. Yeah, it is plugged into the right place. I had to double check there. Okay, so guys, the biggest batch of eggs. Now, I know a lot of these eggs aren't going to take. You know, they're not going to develop. But we're going to be doing a big candling here. You know, in about 8 days, and I'll get rid of the ones that aren't. But I wanted to see, because today's the 8th of May, and I've got eggs here from the 21st of April. It's a lot of eggs. This is the biggest batch of eggs. It's really, really freaking intimidating looking at it. But I know, you know, on a candle, we're going to have a lot that are going to go straight into the compost pile. It's a lot of eggs, guys. I'm trying to figure out a way of getting a good angle for you guys with the video. That's a lot of eggs. Eggs as far as you can see, guys. Look at that, eh? Is that awesome? Now, when I was washing them, here's the thing I don't get, you know, and I can tell the difference between, you know, a Muscovy egg and you know, compared to a Peking and a Rouen. And I'm telling you guys, this is bizarre. I don't know if it's because of the feed this year, but like there are so few. Like I'm going to go through it and pick them out. Like I'll just show you here, like that right there, that's a Muscovy egg. I can tell that's a Muscovy because of the color, you know. That's a Muscovy egg, you know, because of the color. But there's just not many. Like there's another Muscovy egg, you know. But they're like, I'm not kidding you guys. Like I don't know if the Muscovies are not laying this year. Like I'm actually worried here because, like, I'm not kidding you. No, I have never had where I couldn't tell the difference between the eggs. I'm gonna go through and do the sort right now while I'm putting them into the incubator. But I honestly don't think I have 63 Muscovy eggs out of all of these. Like I honestly don't think I do. It's just bizarre. Like I don't know. Maybe it's because this year they don't have you know, the nesting boxes. They aren't, you know, segregated from the other ducks, and or maybe the Muscovies are, you know, laying eggs around the property and I'm not aware of it, you know. But the thing is that they're, you know, the Muscovy females are all over the place. I see them, you know, roaming around. They're not like they disappeared on me. Anyways, I'm going to go through and try to sort them out and see what I come up with here. Now, goose eggs. Now, this is what I've got for goose eggs, and this is everything from the 21st up. And like I said, we're going to do a candle in 8 days, and we'll see what made it, what didn't make it. But there is a goose egg. Like, look at this. Now, I would normally say that that is a duck egg, but it's really, really rough. And goose eggs are rough. They aren't smooth like a duck egg. Like, here's another one. Like this one here. Look how small that is. Now, look how compared to that. Like, this is from the 6th of May, and this is today, the 8th. Look at the size difference. And you normally say, oh, that's a duck egg. But you can feel it. And it feels like sandpaper, and that's a goose egg. I don't think anything will come out of that. That's a tiny little egg. All right, well, I'm going to do the sort. We'll get them loaded in the incubator. I'll set the camera up so you guys can watch me stumble putting all these eggs in the machine. The incubator's running right, temperature's right, humidity's right. It's happening. It's happening. But the cabinet is doing good. Like, it's got a slight pulsate to it, but not a vibration, just a slight pulse. But I've got to get that motor either, you know, fixed this week, or the parts ordered for it, or I've got to order another motor. I can't take a chance here. And that's like, you know, and the thing is, I have to get it air brought in. And that is really expensive. So I'm hoping we can. I would honestly, I would rather spend $100 getting it repaired than spend, you know, 130 for air courier plus the price of the motor. Actually, I'd rather spend $130 to get it repaired than spend $130 on air courier plus pay for the motor. At least that way, if it's repaired, It's sitting here waiting in case this thing stops working. All right, guys, I'm rambling here. Let's get this happening. Look at that, eh? Look at those eggs. That's crazy. That's nuts. Freaking awesome, actually. Final sort. I've got 81 Muscovy. So these are all Muscovy. There are a couple that are iffy. Some of them I had to actually go by size and the shape, because Muscovies have a distinctive shape to them. They're not like, you know, the Peking of the Ruin that are, they have a much bulkier shape. Muscovies are a much, I'd say, uniform. They're a little more uniform. They've got a little more of a teardrop to them, and it's the color. The color is the easiest. They've got a nice little beige color to them. So 81. I'd say I'm probably 90% sure that I've got, these are Muscovies right here. This and this. These are not. So I've got them all in the incubator, obviously, because there's none left here on the table. But I couldn't do it with my glasses, without my glasses. It just didn't cut it. The light was... I needed the light and I needed the vision, and unfortunately couldn't record it for you. Alright, let's put them in here. Oh, that's a load of eggs. But, you know, in 8 days we're going to do a candling, and it'll get thinned out. It'd be awesome if it didn't get thinned out too much. I don't know what the final count is. I wrote all the numbers down inside the house. I'll put them below the video on what the count of the eggs and the dates that I went back, and how many eggs per day. But that is the biggest load I've ever put in my incubator at once. Well, I'll put it this way, there's only room for 4 more trays, another 252 eggs. Now that incubator house got some serious work ahead of it here. It's got to get all those eggs up to 37.5 degrees. It'll probably take till tomorrow before the eggs are warm. So it's officially started, guys. Well, that was a little bit of footage of the Argo just before it overheated. I'm going to do the carb tomorrow. It has to get done because the swamp is absolutely perfect. The water right now, well, tomorrow it'll be down a little bit, but the swamp is really wet, which is perfect because all the bulrushes I was pushing down today, I went on my second pass when I buy, they were all wet. They weren't dry, so that means they're not going to pop back up again. And it's definitely the carb because I had to tap the carb again to get it to run. As soon as I tap the carb, it runs. So it's jammed up. I got the carb kit. It's happening tomorrow. Eggs are in the incubator. Things are starting to happen here, guys. Next, after the swamp, we start planning on making the pen bigger. Look at these relaxed ducks. They're doing absolutely nothing. But it is really freaking windy. I did learn one thing today. The way I had the cameras configured on the Argo didn't work. A lot of movement in one of them. I didn't have it in the right spot, so it just shook like crazy. I tried to do something different. Didn't work out. You're a happy dog running around, aren't you? Well, I thought I'd clean up Hospital Duck's bed here since she's no longer got a limp and she's no longer going to be in the hospital. And this will not hold Disco Duck, so if and when I catch her, Disco's going to be probably in a dog cage. She's mad at me right now because I'm in the pen doing water and she keeps coming in here and I walk over towards her and she walks back out. She wants to go back to the barn. Oh, she's always so mad. Look at her go. She's always upset. She's so upset. That duck cracks me up. I can't believe the view down to the lake now, guys. I can see the mouth of the creek almost completely. And I'm not even remotely close to being done with the Argo. Tomorrow's mechanic day. I'll do the overhaul on it and get it running right. And then I'll flatten that whole piece down. Well, she's heading out. Oh, she's getting chased by a male. Oh, is she ever fast? A lot faster than the male is. What are you chewing on, Doug? Coyote parts? Yep. What do you got? Leg? Something tasty. Rotten bone. I do not believe how cold it is. But it didn't help that I was on the back deck washing all the egg containers. I got wet. And the wind off the lake is nasty. Compounded with its cold. I shouldn't say cold. It's just really freaking cool. I don't even think it's 10 degrees. Well, we're in the garage here at the end of the day because today I discovered a problem with my new camera setup, which is basically what I originally started out with 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago. If you notice how it wobbles like this, now I'm thinking that X grip, these people, this grip right here, they've cut corners because this one doesn't jiggle near as much. Just the mic jiggles like it's supposed to. Now, another thing I'm thinking is the connection, because when I dropped it there a year and a half ago, when I dropped this whole camera setup and I busted the mic bracket, I actually had to cut it off and bolt it through directly, shorten up everything, and reposition the mic so it's behind the grip. Now I'm thinking that also is playing with the fact that it's not as jiggly, because today when I had this on the Argo, it was just getting thrown around like crazy, and I started walking around with it, and I noticed every time I sat it down it would jiggle, and it jiggles the camera also. So I'm going to basically destroy this mic bracket, grind her off, and basically I guess we'd call it pre-break it, and replicate the repair job I did with this. That makes it way more sturdy, and it doesn't shake the camera and all that kind of neat stuff. So I'm going to modify it basically, or destroy it. Whatever way you want to look at it, I'm going to make it better. Unless X-Grip actually did cut corners and is using a cheaper plastic that's not as rigid, but I'm going to find out here shortly. So this is a before and after. This is the after. Actually, this broke, but I'm going to grind off this one. This one here is not broken, but it's going to be, well, it's going to be, I guess you could say broken when I'm finished, but we're going to modify. So all of this has to come off with the grinder, and this is what it's going to look like when I'm done. I took a 14mm bolt. I drilled out the center to make room for the screw, because this one, because it broke off shallow when I grinded it, I had to drill the center of the bolt out so I could get enough thread inside to hold it. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that, but I had to drill it out. So I'm going to replicate one of these. I'm going to make that into this. So what I did was, there's a little tiny screw which allowed me to take the hot shoe off. This right here, which when I broke mine originally, this little screw bent, and it wasn't very easy to get out. This was easy today. So what I've done is I cut off the shoe on both sides. So now it'll fit right in there and go deep inside so I can put the bolt through. My dog, you're pushing against me, Dougie. Doug's got a bit of a chill. He's wet. He's got a really muddy bottom. Alright, so I'm going to cut this bolt. I've marked the bolt to match this one, and then I'm going to drill out the center like I did on this one, so that it will go down around this little tiny screw. Alright. Man, it's a lot easier replicating it than figuring out the first time. I've copied the exact same bolt, drilled out the center, so that it will screw in deep enough to allow for that screw, and I've drilled out the top of the X grip to allow the bolt to go through. So basically this is the permanent installation now. It won't be getting returned for a refund, but this should stiffen it up, because I think it's because of the height and the length of it, and the connection is you just can't get it tight enough to be sturdy. We'll know shortly here. Almost put it back together without putting the washer on first. So the washer is necessary to hold it in place on top of the X grip, which you'll see like that. And then I put the bolt through on the bottom. And there you go. Stiffens right up. We'll see if it works. This should make a difference, because it's seriously shortening up the unit. And the longer the unit, the more leverage it has, which means more stress. It's going to wiggle more. But I still think the plastic is cheaper, because even tapping it, I think X grip has cut corners. It's been 2.5 years, so they got to increase their profit margin. So less plastic, make it weaker. But this is the best I'm going to be able to make it with what I've got here. Now my other option is, this thing here was, I think it was $36, which is crazy, but that was including delivery, so knock $11 off for the postage. So I got it for like 20, I think it was like $26 plus postage, would have worked out too. They make another one that is a professional grade, but it's $90 freaking dollars, and it's still made out of plastic. I don't know, if it would have been of aluminum, I'd say okay, yeah, it makes sense that it's $90, but it's plastic, and they look identical online, but who knows, it just might be a better quality plastic, and I wouldn't have this problem. Maybe it's like this one from 3 years ago. I don't know. I just know now it's not near as rigid. Alright, let's get this back together. I think I fixed it. It jiggles a little bit. It's not as stiff as this one is, but it definitely is not jiggling like it was before. Yeah, just now, just the mic jiggles like it's supposed to. Right on. Well, it's definitely mine now. Can't return it. Watching his ducks. Watching the yard, actually. Oh, I'm so happy I fixed this camera situation. I noticed today when I was doing the Argo, I was like, oh no, I was going to have to reconfigure everything to mount cameras on the Argo to show you guys the swamp when I finally do it. And I didn't really want to go through a whole bunch of camera crap. No, I don't. And I just made it in time. 6 minutes and my supper's ready.
And don't forget to like the video and share it with your friends and enjoy the show.